afternoon. Your Excellency, Mr. Premier, honorable ministers, distinguished guests, colleagues, and friends of the St. David's community. My name is David Robles. I'm the manager of Google's submarine cable construction team, and it's my honor to welcome you for this landmark event in Bermuda's digital history. We're gathered here at Annie's Bay to commemorate the physical arrival of a new digital era for Bermuda. Before we proceed, I'd like to welcome and recognize His Excellency, the Governor, Mr. Andrew Murdoch, the Honorable Premier and Minister of Finance, E. David Burt, U.S. Consul General Antoinette Hurtado, the Honorable Zane de Silva, Deputy Premier and Minister of Housing and Municipalities, the Honorable Jason Hayward, Minister of Economy and Labor, the Honorable Tanae Furbert, JPMP, Minister of Youth, Social Development, and Seniors, the Honorable Alexa Lightbourne, Minister of Home Affairs, Mayor of St. George's, the Right Honorable Quinnell Francis, Mayor of Hamilton, Right Worshipful Michael Branco, the former Deputy and Minister of Home Affairs Walter Roban, and former Minister of Public Works Lieutenant Colonel David Birch. Area MPs, the Honorable Levita Fogo, members of the legislature, and technical officers from the Bermuda government. Thank you all for your presence here today. Your presence here signifies a shared commitment to Bermuda's digital growth. This project is the fulfillment of a shared national vision, ensuring that Bermuda remains a premier Atlantic gateway for generations to come. Let us turn now to the vision that brought us here to Annie's Bay. Today we celebrate the arrival of the Nuvum and Sol cable systems. Together they establish a resilient digital exchange port that anchors Bermuda as a key geography for the global cloud and the future of AI. To speak more on the impact of this network, it's my pleasure to introduce the Google leader driving this historic development. Brian Quigley is Vice President of Global Infrastructure for Google Cloud. He leads the team responsible for the design, construction, and operation of the global network that powers Google's services and its 43 cloud regions. Under Brian's leadership, Google is building a digital backbone for the global economy that is resilient, low latency, and future ready. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Brian Quigley.
This is my first speech in shorts, so I'm very, very excited. Good afternoon, Your Excellency, Prime Minister, Premier, distinguished guests, partners, community. Thank you for coming. This is very, very personal and exciting for me. We had a vision 6 years ago on how we think we could connect the world better and make sure that the digital divide doesn't become the AI divide, and connecting every place in the world with equal access. So every time one of these cables land, it's very personal for me because it's been my journey over the years. We're here today, as David said, to announce the Nuvum and Sol cable systems. These cables lay across the ocean floor. They're manufactured by Subcom in New Hampshire. They're placed onto a boat, and then the cable is laid on the ocean floor from one side to the other. So we're building 2 new cables from Bermuda to the continental U.S. One lands in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and the other in Flagler Beach. And 2 cables going east from Bermuda to Spain and Portugal. In 2015, we made our first investment in digital infrastructure in Bermuda. We put a set of caching servers in Hamilton so that your YouTube video requests would never leave the country. In 2024, we made a secondary request. And I didn't know this actually until this morning when we were at dinner last night having a discussion of what has caused the traffic in Bermuda to go so much. it coincided with this last infrastructure investment. So we put a new set of caching servers in Hamilton. And since that time, in just 2 years, traffic to the internet from Bermudians has gone up 2x. Absolutely incredible growth, and shows that infrastructure investments make a difference in how people use the internet. Today, 54% of Bermuda's internet traffic is served from those servers in Hamilton. And 45% goes back to the continental United States and splits between Northern Virginia and South Carolina. So we're looking at building these 2 new cables. You'll see them landing. I believe they're going to land tomorrow or the next day, depending on sea state. But they'll come right up onto the beach into the manholes that you see here. From there, they'll transfer through an underground conduit system and go into our new digital exchange port that's currently under construction. We just broke ground last Friday, so we're very excited to see. One of the cables, as I said, will land in Myrtle Beach. That's South Carolina in the US. And the second cable is in Florida. And they create a redundant ring to our South Carolina data center. This is a massive data center that actually uses more power than all of Bermuda just for that site. But it provides you low latency connectivity. So you'll have access to the same AI digital services as you have in the United States. And then secondarily, we've built a ring from those 2 landing points up north to Northern Virginia, so that you're connected not just to one, but to 2. So any single path and any single site can fail, and you still have the same level of connectivity. But going from there, we extend all the way across the Atlantic, and we'll land in Sines, Portugal, and Bilbao, Spain. So after the ship leaves here and then continues across, we'll have our next landing, I believe, July 9th in Sines. So you will be just as for me, just as Bermudian cedar was the 17th century accelerator to make you a shipping hub. These submarine cables make you the digital exchange hub directly between North America and Europe. We're not just strengthening the Bermudian economy, though. We're fueling local innovation, and we're really ensuring that Bermuda is prepared for digital growth. We have 3 principles that we follow. The first is sustainability. So we measure watts per bit served and make sure that we have the lowest energy footprint that we can. As a matter of fact, the digital exchange port that we have here uses the same amount of water as a single family home. We recycle and have a closed loop cooling system. Local partnerships. We're going to talk a lot about this, but it's critical that we foster and promote the communities where we serve traffic. It's not just building infrastructure, it's building partnerships. And the third is an open and free internet. So these are not just Google cables. Yes, we build them for our needs. We want to serve Google traffic, but we make 50% of the capacity available to other carriers and providers in the market. So thank you very much to our partners here today. We have the Bermudian company BCM as our general contractor that's building the site and the digital exchange port. They broke ground on Friday. We used a local engineering and architecture firm, On-Site Engineering. Our conduits are being constructed and built by the Invisible Trenching Company, and we have Subcom out of the US that is building the cable and operates the ship. But our partnerships extend beyond there. So just this morning, I signed a memorandum of understanding with One Communications, where they're looking to have capacity on these cables so that it benefits not just Google, but all of the users of Bermuda. And we're in constant conversations with all of the carriers. Secondarily, you'll hear later from the Bermuda Zoological Society. We're very excited that we are able to participate financially in upgrading undersea cameras, a series of drones, and making sure that educating the youth is part of this, making sure that the community is ready for the digital evolution. You'll have to excuse me because I can't actually see the screen. The next is St. David's Primary, focusing on digital literacy. So we're able to upgrade the computer lab and provide technology for the individual students. Bermuda College, if any of you have read the press release from this morning, we announced 500 scholarships from Google for Grow with Google. So we're very excited that we're going from youth all the way to the oldest members of society with digital education. And this is open not just for AI training, but our entire cybersecurity, digital analytics, and a series of skills. And then finally, it's about preserving history as well. So it's not just new technology and education, but really being a partnership. So we're working with St. David Islands Historical Society for the Annie's Bay Restoration and Heritage Trail. Right next to us, you'll see this start going under construction. This program, I often get asked, why does Google invest in infrastructure? And there's really three reasons. We call them the 3 R's: reach, reliability, and resilience. This project not only aligns with Bermuda's economic development strategy, but it's where public and private partnerships come together and can meet each other's goals. So we're creating the first ring from Bermuda to the United States, the first digital ring from Bermuda to Europe. We're connecting not only to one cloud region, but to 3 cloud regions and providing continental diversity. So if something would now happen to the east coast of the US, you're connected to Europe and will continue to function. In our site, we'll provide real-time switching. So today, when you have a cable cut, the cable is completely out of service. But by allowing us to switch between the different sides of the rings, consumers don't even know. And then finally, as we said, geo-redundancy. So I truly just want to thank all of you for your partnership. It has been a community effort. We're excited. We first talked about this in 2020, so here we are 6 years later, and it's amazing to see a vision come to reality and to do it in a way where public, private, and community join hands. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Brian. None of this would be possible without the legislative foundation that welcomed us. And I'm now honored to introduce the driving force behind that vision, Premier David Burt. The Premier's leadership was pivotal in the passage of the Submarine Communications Cables Act of 2020, which created a streamlined framework for the cable protection zone that brings us here to Annie's Bay today. Mr. Premier, the floor is yours.
Now, there'll be a few people who will know why I'm nervous right now, but we're going to see if technology works. Good afternoon, everyone. It is without question a pleasure to be here, and without question a protocol having been established. I'd like to extend a warm welcome to you, Mr. Quigley, to Bermuda, and certainly to the Google team that is represented here today. From our perspective, see, here we are, technology's not working. It is a pleasure to join everyone here as we mark an important milestone for Bermuda, as we commemorate the realization of the government's long-held position to make Bermuda the center of global digital commerce. It is something that we had, and for centuries, Bermuda's location in the Atlantic, whether it be through wars or other types of things, has been central to our greater strengths. So whether it was in shipping, whether it was in aviation, whether it was in telecommunications or international business, our geographical position has been central to helping our economy thrive. However, our location alone is not enough. As you mentioned, Brian, it takes vision and execution to take full potential of our geographic advantage. 9 years ago, in 2017, in our election platform, the government set out a vision to transform Bermuda, and particularly Southside, where we are today, into a technology and innovation hub. We pledged to diversify our economy and attract the type of investment that would prepare Bermuda for the industry and jobs of the future. In 2019, with that promise recognized, we said that we are going to progress with subsea cable legislation and recognizing that this connectivity could mean a new level of, I guess I'd say, economic opportunity for Bermuda. We recognize the role that Bermuda has played, and we were committed to making sure that we advanced that role with a little bit of prodding from, I would say, Ms. Fiona Beck. I'll come more to that. In 2020, we passed the Subsea Cable Act, establishing the regulatory framework for the transatlantic cables and making Bermuda a credible jurisdiction for major geographic investment, major geographic infrastructure investment. And today, we are witnessing the deliberate work of our government and our partners, which goes back, as you know, for nearly a decade. Progress takes time, and that's something that's particularly important, which I want persons to recognize, because as you say, it's taken a long time, it's not easy. And while many doubted whether or not we could attract a new generation of investment at this scale, this government kept its head down, and we stayed true to our vision. And we got the work done. And what has that led to us? It has led to the realization of today. But it's important that we recognize that this work, like all of the work that Bermuda government does, is about Bermudians. The investment being made here in Bermuda is not just about the Nuvem and sold cables. It's about jobs. It's about training. It's about the opportunities of which you shared, whether it's Bermuda College, whether it's St. David's Primary, which the honorable and local MP knows about. It's about the restoration works that is happening. The investment that comes into this country is essentially about benefiting Bermudians today and also into the future. So you heard from Mr. Quigley about what this investment means and the future opportunities that it will unlock. And the reality is, as technology advances, we are not even fully aware of what this may represent in the future. The amount of data and connectivity, because, 10 years ago, we wouldn't be talking about the amazing things which we can do with artificial intelligence. But the reality is that Bermuda, through these cables, are going to be so well connected that we will be able to actually participate in the global information economy in a better space. It will support our future jobs in international business, remembering that Bermuda is a space where we have connectivity. And so from that perspective, it is excellent. The reality is that Bermuda could not have asked for a better partner than Google. And by landing these systems here, Google and its partners are recognized the strategic value, stability, and reliability of Bermuda as a partner. And in a world that is increasingly dependent on digital infrastructure, Bermuda will continue to serve as a hub, connecting people, markets, and ideas worldwide. And so what I will say is this. I thank you, Brian, for your vision, your view, and your investment, the confidence of which you continue to place in our island, and the commitment of which you continue to show. There is certainly thank yous that need to go to everyone who played a critical role in advancing this. But I must certainly give a special shout out to two people, and I do not know where they are hiding. That would be my former partner in crime, the Deputy Premier and former Minister of Home Affairs, the Honorable Walter Robban. Please give him a round of applause. It was Walter who continued to work, who continued to represent this as a part of the vision that would happen, continued to press, continued to push forward, argued at the cabinet table, argued in certain places to make sure we got it done. But once you pass the legislation, then you have to make sure that you actually get the agreement done. And the reality is that we would not have been able to secure the long-term lease and the landing here if it was not for someone else who has now also left the political realm, and that is the former Minister of Public Works, the Honorable Lieutenant Colonel David Birch. He's hiding back there as well. And finally, as we thank members of the government, the reality is that there is one lady who is particularly responsible for continuing to press and prod the government of Bermuda into making this a reality. And I'd like to extend my personal thanks and gratitude to you, Ms. Fiona Beck. Thank you. Now, yesterday I met Mr. Quigley for the first time, and he was appropriately attired in red and blue. Minister Lightbourne, I saw him today, and I said, Alexa, did you ask him to change his clothes? And Alexa said, and Minister said yes. And I was like offended. Just for the record, by the way, National Heroes Day is on Monday. Following that point in time, as is tradition, I'll be wearing red and blue until we retain the cup. But let me not digress, because I'm actually going to speak about cricket. Because, Mr. Quigley, it is cricket season in Bermuda. And as the old timers in St. David's and other places will say, it's stick to the wickets and the runs will come. Google certainly stuck to the wicket. There were plenty of challenges along the way, but you kept batting. And today, the runs have come not just in the form of this cable landing on our shores, but also in the investment that will come into the future. We could not have hoped for a better partner, and the Governor of Bermuda looks forward to a long and enduring partnership with Google, and I am grateful and thankful to have been a part of this journey, which I know will serve our children into the future. Thank you, and congratulations, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Premier. Now, protecting Bermuda's natural environment is as important to our mission as protecting the cables themselves. As Brian mentioned, with support from Google, the Bermuda Zoological Society is modernizing its STEM programs for over 8,000 students annually, integrating cloud and AI to help students appreciate and care for Bermuda's unique ecosystems. To highlight our shared work in inspiring the next generation of environmental stewards, please welcome Camille Haley from the BZS board for a brief presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. Protocol having been established, on behalf of the Bermuda Zoological Society board and team, I would like to extend our sincere gratitude to Google Data Centers for their partnership and investment in Bermuda's future. Today marks an important milestone for Bermuda. The Google Data Centers cable landing represents more than infrastructure. It represents opportunity, innovation, connectivity, and confidence in our island's future. As Bermuda becomes increasingly connected to the world, we also have an opportunity to ensure that our young people are equipped with the knowledge, skills, and curiosity to thrive in that future. What makes today even more special is that at this very moment, BZS and the Bermuda Aquarium Museum and Zoo are also breaking ground on our own future through the Aquarium 100 campaign. Google's partnership will help shape Bermuda's next century as we embark on a transformational vision to modernize our campus and expand education and conservation opportunities. Together, these milestones reflect a shared belief that investing in people, learning, innovation, and the future of our island creates a lasting legacy for generations to come. At BZS, our mission is to inspire appreciation and care of island environments through education and conservation programs. Every day, we connect students with Bermuda's unique natural world, inspiring the next generation of environmental stewards, scientists, innovators, and community leaders. Google's belief in our organization and investment allows us to strengthen our mission and bring it to life in exciting new ways. Through this partnership, students now have access to new technologies, including tablets, drones, microphones, underwater cameras, and classroom projection equipment that are engaging students and transforming how they learn about science, conservation, and its connection to emerging technologies. What makes this partnership especially meaningful is that it aligns so closely with our educational philosophy. At BZS, learning does not only happen in a classroom. It happens in Bermuda's microforests, mangroves, ponds, beaches, and reefs. Through our living classroom approach, students become active field researchers and investigators, collecting real-world data, exploring ecosystems, and solving environmental challenges firsthand. Google's support allows us to combine the power of technology with the power of nature. Students use these tools to monitor microforests, track plant growth, identify species, measure soil health, and gather valuable environmental data. They are not simply learning about conservation, they are actively contributing to it. Most importantly, this partnership is expanding access to high-quality science and environmental education for students across Bermuda, particularly in our public school system. Together, we are creating opportunities that inspire discovery and a lifelong commitment to caring for our island home. Today, we celebrate a shared belief that investing in education, technology, environmental stewardship, and community creates brighter futures. To the Google Data Centers team, thank you for believing in our mission and for your incredible partnership. Investing in Bermuda's young people will help us inspire curiosity and meaningful conservation action. Congratulations to all involved in achieving this important milestone. We look forward to continued collaboration as we work together to build a more connected, resilient, and sustainable future for our island home, Bermuda.
Thank you, Camille. So we're going to move now to the physical commemoration of the cable landing. This is a bridge between high-tech infrastructure and local heritage. So at this time, I'd like to invite our distinguished guests here to come up and sign the buoys. These are the ceremonial buoys to mark the arrival of the cable. I'd like to begin with Your Excellency, please, if you would come up and put your signature on the Nuvum buoy. Where should he sign, Michael? Thank you. Great. Mr. Premier, would you like to come up?
Where do you want it? Right here? Oh, sorry. Oh, boy. I've been doing this for 9 years. You would think I know better, right? Mercy. All right. This is making me nervous. Here we are. Oh. All right.
Minister Lightbourne? Oh, you've got your mark.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks.
And Consul General? There. Pick a favorite spot.
It's not as nice as some of the other ones, but
Oop, let me get out of the shot. And Brian, would you like to come up and sign? All right. All right, thank you. As we conclude, I want to offer our deepest gratitude to our partners who have driven the physical realization of this project. Many thanks to Wayne Keynes and the team at Belco for their vital work on the power substation, to BCM Construction for their tireless efforts with the cable landing station build. Huge thanks to Fiona Beck for her sage guidance over the past 3 years. Thank you. And most importantly, a heartfelt thank you to the St. David's community. We're honored to be your neighbors. I invite all guests now to join us for the reception here in the tent. Please enjoy the refreshments. Thank you for being a part of this historic day. I'm Dave Robles on behalf of Google. Good afternoon.